If you're someone who's trying to work out the high-level agents and voice agents, chat agents, this video is for you because I'm going to be showing you how we've actually set up our own high-level voice agent so that you can actually go through this tutorial and get a rough idea of how this all breaks down. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Jared from Boulder Digital, and this video is sponsored by HL Pro Tools. Why do I say that? Because these guys are awesome. They support me as an agency, and I know that they're supporting many other people with their agencies as well. Now, I've got a link down in the comment below here, and so if you click on that, you'll be able to see all the great things that they're doing and how they could potentially help you. Plus, if you then use that link and become a client, the best bit is that I get a kickback for that as a thank you for my efforts of being able to share the good news, but it doesn't affect your price overall. So let's get stuck in. And I'm excited to be talking to you about GoHighLevel's voice agents. Now, what I often find is that we get a lot of people that are either coming to us looking for a voice agent, or we're dealing with agency owners that are often just looking for some guidance around doing that. And so I just thought it might be easier if I could just pull open a demo and show you a bit behind the scenes on what we're actually doing with ours and how we get that together. And so what I've got here is a bit of a demo of the agent, bring it together. What I'm going to do is just break it down. First of all, when you're coming through to this page, you want to have a look at a few different things. You want to look at the tokens that you're using. You also want to look at your investment coming in there as well, because each time it's doing something here is basically where it's using those tokens. So you can adjust how much you're using as far as AI sources like the GPT up the top here. So we're using 4.1, but you can also see here that there's various options available, some more than others. You could go with Nano as an example, which then absolutely drops down the cost massively. Now, the other cool part of this is you've then got the voices. So you can open this up. And what I like to do is have a bit of fun with this. And I like to use, accents and things like that. So we've got Alfred that comes through here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. So, when we think about, oh, he's still going. When we think about Alfred, for me, Alfred is, for example, of Batman. So it's got to have that real British kind of sound. I'm probably butchering that, but you get what I mean. So I like to have fun with that. But you've got providers here that you can choose. You've got languages, you've got your accents, you've got your genders, and then you can sort it as well. You can see the ones that you might have liked, right? And then you've also got your high quality only. And then really it's just going through each of these and clicking on them and seeing which one you want to work with. Once you've done that, you then save your voice. And then you've got your voice sorted, your model sorted, you've got English there. Next, we need some form of a prompt. Okay, so when we're looking at our prompt, you can see that we've already given him a name. So for us, we name him Alfred. We want him to be professional, friendly, warm, conversational, energetic, and calm, right? So reassuring that they are a customer support specialist, because it's very, very easy to not set the tone right from the start. So we talk about our location. We talk about them as a speaker, and also someone that's representing Boulder Digital. So saying things like, you never interrupt, always respond promptly without dead air. So it goes through there, and feel free to write this down and grab your own version of it. And then if anyone's asking if it's a human or AI, you can absolutely point that out as well. I like to let people know that we're using AI. I think that it's powerful, because then you can actually call it out and go, well, everyone else is busy, but we wanted to make sure that we grab that call for you. And then you can see here, I'm actually a virtual assistant that helps Boulder Digital's team. Just sounds this natural, so conversations are easy and friendly. Cool. Then we want to go down into our identity. So Jared's the owner. Alfred must only treat a caller as a business owner if they explicitly identify themselves with authority. And so you can see that we continue to build out upon this. Jared calling, how can I help you? If authority is not stated, we keep going through the flow. Correct identity, right? Name recognition safety rule. Alfred must never say or imply that a person doesn't work here, is not on our team, or we have no one by that name. And the reason for that being is sometimes the AI will mishear people, especially when you're talking about my team member RJ. There's so many ways that the AI picks up on that. So we just want to make sure that there's no discrepancies there. Then you've got the purpose to assist callers, Bolder Digital, Bolder VA, understanding things, providing information. Also, take important note to always try and gather the caller's following details: full name, phone, and description of the reason why they're calling. We then go into our mandatory contact collection trigger. So if a call does not end successful live transfer to a team member, Alpha must collect the caller's full name and try and collect all those details before closing it. This applies even if the caller only asked a question, received information, or sounded casual or exploratory. There you go. That's a fun word to say quickly. Notice that we then go down into our general rules. So we're avoiding asking further query details. We do not want to repeat the same sentence. Saying things over and over again can happen. Stick to the knowledge base, right? The information, the tool instructions. Only respond with information that you are across. Don't go making some of this stuff up, which can happen. Avoid assumptions and generalizations. You should always ask the caller if they want to hear about a specific product or service of ours rather than simply going over all the products, because you'll see further down here there's a bit of a list. If the caller mentions missing a call, got it. One of our team members must have tried to give you a buzz. Let's grab some of your details so I can get them to give you a call back quickly. If a caller is ready to move forward, then we talk about scheduling in a call with Jared. So that's there. And then we actually go through the call flow. So, hey, this is Bold Digital. My name's Alfred. How can I help you today? Notice that it's got a rule in here because Jared is spelt with a Y. I'm a little bit different. So notice if it says Jared with an E-A-O as an example, it'll go, hey, I think you're talking about Jared. He's not available to directly take calls. Now, the reason why I do that when we're running this is I like to have a gatekeeper so that I'm not being held back, especially if I'm taking calls with clients or doing online calls and things like that. Okay, then you can see that the call will try and transfer through to RJ. RJ, you can see, is working during those office hours in Australia. It will try and connect to RJ. If it can't, it will also take details as well. And you can see that there's been many circumstances of it getting RJ's name wrong. So we've had to update that as well over time. What else do I want to show you on here? Oh, close. Alfred, it's Alfred here. If a caller accidentally calls Alfred by another name. That's right. So that's in there as well. Alfred must collect the caller's name. Yep, we've gone over that. Force questions, critical. When a live transfer is not possible, definitely grab their details. Must acknowledge, not acknowledge, explain further, continue conversation before asking for the name. Adjust the tone based on the caller sounds, right? Avoid dead air and respond naturally. And then standard transition phase is when transitioning into contact collection, Alfred should say something like, so I can make sure we follow up properly, let me grab a couple of quick details. Goes through there. Again, you can pause this in your own time, but you can see all the different things that we're doing, keeping it smooth without being jittery. Ask for the best number. Ask what they're calling about. Once you've got those details, perfect, got it. Yes, I've noted that down, and continue smoothly. Then we want to get the number, go through that process. Then we want to try and work out the service information. And you can see through all of here. Now, here's the biggest hack for this. If you are then an agency that wants to be able to prove that the actual agent's doing the work, right? I'm going to give you one hack out of this. Go to your post call. Then you're going to go to notifications and post call workflows. And we're going to tick receive email notification post call completion. Okay. So that's one way that we can measure this. And then you add in the people that you want to receive that email. So notice I've got the tech team, so they know, and then myself. But then the second secret hack that I'm going to give you, which I think is a game changer, because I know a lot of people now are using voice agents and trying to sell them, is actually showing that they're actually doing a job. In here under reporting, you'll notice I've ticked performance summary email. So I can do this weekly, every 2 weeks, or monthly. And then I can share that with specific users as well, which is me, where I can then see everything that's happened for that week. So if I go show preview, there you have it. So you can see 142 calls handled. This is the time saved by a human. The success rate, 85%. Average duration, 2 minutes. We can then see if there were any neutral or negative moments. And then we can also look at the ones that might need some attention. All right. So that's everything. That's a breakdown of showing you how the agent works. I could go deeper into this, but I want to keep this around 10 minutes. But you can see here, we've got actions where we can transfer to a human, sending out a calendar link. We've got the Alfred MCP tool connected. And then you can also see after the call that we're updating the contact fields, first name, last name, and email address. I'm going to leave it there. If you've enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe because we're building out content around Go High Level often. I run the Australian Go High Level community here in Australia. And then I also bring in speakers. So we've had amazing people like Napoon showing how to clone yourself. We've had Bryce from Closebot showing how to build, chat agents that can actually work on a website, break down the issues that are coming from people's conversations and ping you as an agency owner, but then also them to let them know that the agency's got it. And then we've got a bunch of other amazing people that are also on there as well. The other cool part of that is that I'm also then building through this process a series of videos where you can go through and see things like this as well, where it's talking about AI Studio and other things like that. So make sure you like the video. Tell me one thing that you like doing with your voice agent, or better yet, let me know if you let people know whether it's a voice agent that is AI or just a human. I'd be curious to know. And then make sure you're hitting like, subscribing so that you're not missing any of those videos. And if you like it, make sure that you're jumping on board. I look forward to seeing you. Jared Boulder Digital, and we're on to the next one.